Greetings, this is Tanaka Ronnie Chindomo representing Golden Cloud Network. We're here to share knowledge and experience with you. And today we're going to be talking about food safety and why this subject is relevant to us all. We all know that we need food to survive. We all need food to sustain life. So that's why we work towards securing food, securing a constant and stable food supply. But what should we consider after we have secured this food? We should also consider the safety of the food that we're eating. Because what's the use of eating food when it has the potential of killing us short term or even long term? That is why food safety is an issue of national interest and contributes directly to national development. Because what's the point of developing a nation when the population is going to have a short lifespan? So the question then becomes, what is being done to ensure that the food that is consumed by the Zimbabwean people is safe? And who is responsible for this? That's what we're going to get into right now. So we should first mention what has been done to ensure that food safety is prioritized in the country. We have a broad food safety and regulation framework, which consists of 13 acts and 32 regulations, ranging from the Public Health Act of 1924 and the Consumer Protection Act of 2019. All these are laws that are put in place to ensure that food is safe to consume. However, there has been concerns that have been raised that most of these frameworks are outdated and most of these frameworks are not aligned with international standards. We have what they call the Codex standards, which are international golden standards for food safety. And the concerns say that local frameworks do not align with this Codex standards. This shows us the need for improvement when it comes to that. But okay, who is responsible for enforcing these acts? Who is responsible for raising these concerns? Let's get into that. So we have a research paper that was written by D.T. Mugata, T.Z. Jombo, L. Macheka et al. And these are the researchers that have reported this finding of the need to update the food safety and regulation frameworks. These researchers also identified some of the challenges that is being faced when it comes to food safety and regulation within the country. So we have different organizations, we have different institutions that are responsible for enforcing this program of food safety and regulation in the country. Examples are the Ministry of Health and Childcare. We also have the Ministry of Agriculture, which is involved. Why these two specifically? Obviously, the Ministry of Health is responsible for ensuring that the public is healthy, and they can do so when it comes to food safety by ensuring that the food that is being produced or supplied to the people is safe to eat by testing this food. The Ministry of Health is the organization or institution that manages the Government Analyst Laboratory known as GAO. GAO is the laboratory which tests the food that is being produced locally, which is responsible for testing the food that is imported, since a majority of the food that we consume in the country is imported. On that case, in 2025, 13.4% of the import bill was from food and fertilizers. So all this food that we're taking into the country, is it really safe for the people? Is GAO doing due diligence by testing this food appropriately? Are necessary inspections being done to ensure the safety of this food? We leave that question to the floor. Besides the Government Analyst Laboratory, we also have the Central Veterinary Laboratory. You see, most of the food that we consume is also sourced from agricultural products, specifically livestock keeping. Livestock keeping produces the meat that we eat, the milk, the eggs, and all these other animal products that are used to produce other forms of food. That means that the Central Veterinary Laboratory has to be active in testing the supplied animal products that are being used to produce the food that we eat. That is a second organization or institution that is responsible for ensuring food safety in the country, and this also falls under the Ministry of Agriculture, since it is responsible for all agricultural processes. When it comes to agriculture, there are certain inputs that are used to produce the food that we eat. We have fertilizers, right? We have animal feed. These are also components that have to be monitored closely to make sure that these products are free from toxins or carcinogens that can compromise the health of the people. So let's move on from the Ministry of Health and Childcare and the Ministry of Agriculture, and let's move on to an organization that is known as the Standards Association of Zimbabwe. The Standards Association of Zimbabwe is more put in position to ensure the quality of the food that is being produced. If you look at some of the products that you buy in stores, they are SARS certified, and this is a measure that is put in place by the current government to make sure that yes, we have tested the quality of the food, and yes, we can give a vote of confidence for this product. So quality assurance ensures that the food that is being sold or traded on the market is safe, and the Standards Association of Zimbabwe is responsible for that. They have certain procedures and processes that they carry out to ensure the quality assurance of the products. Besides SARS, we also have the Zimbabwean Food and Nutrition Council, which is more focused on the nutritional value of the food that is being traded on the floor. So there's a correlation between nutritional value and health, because the more nutritious product is, the more healthy it is for you, and vice versa. That means that the Zimbabwean Food and Nutrition Council also plays a vital role in the monitoring of the health status of the food that is being sold in the country. So these are some of the organizations that are responsible for ensuring that the food that is consumed by the people is safe. So let's go back to the study that was done by our researchers that we mentioned. They identified some problems when it comes to these agencies that is hindering food safety from being fully realized. And some of these problems are the following. There's fragmentation, oversight, duplicated efforts, and due restriction or overlaps that occur within these agencies. So these are different agencies, different players, all trying to ensure food safety, but they are somewhat independent. They have different methods of enforcing their actions. They have different ways, different time frames that they use. They're operating at different levels, and they are themselves different in nature. And this distinction, this diversity in operations has been identified as a source of inefficiency, since this will result in lack of alignment and lack of collaboration between these organizations. And that is exactly the solution that will solve this problem: interagency collaboration and alignment, by maybe forming a uniform system that incorporates all these agencies to make sure that food safety is enforced efficiently. So people may end up blaming these different organizations, but these organizations can be doing whatever they can, whatever is within their power to enforce food safety. But because of different, maybe duplicated efforts, because of lack of alignment, these efforts may end up going in vain and causing inefficiencies that may compromise the health of the people. So we have fulfilled our obligation of highlighting the systems that are in place to ensure food security, food safety in the country, and we've fulfilled our objective of highlighting who's responsible. I think for today, let's leave it like that. But food safety remains a critical issue that should be considered when it comes to national development. This is Golden Cloud Network. Like, share, subscribe if you've liked what you've just watched. Thank you.